Guys, if you're going for fall 2023, there's a couple of universities that you probably want to stay clear of. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you about those blunderous mistakes that other students have made in the past couple of years, and you can actually avoid by just spending 5 minutes over here. So without further ado, let's get started. The first kind of universities are the ones which do not rank well. The reason I would ask you to avoid these universities is because your visa is going to be rejected if you actually go for these universities. Let me show you an example, okay? So if you actually go onto YMGrad.com, you select any country of your choice, let's say the US, right? All the universities that we have over here, in the order of their ranking we have mentioned. As long as you're able to see this ranking next to it, this is fine. But when you actually go ahead and you select something that is, completely different, let's say you are selecting something like, let me just pick out something from US, let's say Evergreen State College. You can see there's no ranking next to it. What this essentially means is this is probably not a great university to go with, and you probably want to stay clear of it, all right? Not because you won't get an admission over here. Getting the admission will be the easier part. The harder part will be that you will not be able to fetch jobs, and that's actually far out, let alone should you even get a visa, because in most cases your visa will be rejected. So steer clear of such universities where the ranking is not even mentioned on this website, or essentially the ranking is not that good. You may know it by yourself as well, okay? Point number two, universities where we know that you won't land a job for the most part. And let's say for the US, again, for the US universities, this is pretty easy to detect. It's usually the ranking, which I already showed you. Number two, the location. That location should have jobs. Let's say you're going to a place like Albuquerque, and let's say you're pursuing a degree in IT, you're probably able to guess that you're not going to get any jobs over there, right? So you're going to have to actually take a look over there, and of course make sure that you are doing this research for yourself. Which states have the best kind of jobs for your field, right? Let's talk about the other thing. Let's say for Canada, right? And for Canada, it's a very special way. Like, you actually have to check it, and Canada has made it very, very easy for you, okay? What you do is you essentially go onto Google and you type in PGWP eligibility, okay? That's what you type in, all right? These are the exact keywords. Now let's actually see which universities, and let's also write DLI over here because I'm not getting that exact page. Right, so this is the one, right? PGWP eligibility DLI. This is what you open up, and the first thing you will see over here once you open this up is that you have right here a list where you can select the province where your college or university is supposed to be. You go ahead, you select the university. From here, you can find it whatever you want. Let's say that your university name is this one, Academy of Learning, right? You type it in and you will see that Academy of Learning, this is it. It's in Brampton, and you're probably going to this one. Let's just say hypothetically, the worst part about this university is that even though it has a DLI number, and many universities try to trick you to try to make it easy and make you think that, hey, if you have a DLI number, why not come to us, right? DLI number is not the end of the game. The game is right here. The university does not offer PGWP. You know what that means? That means that even though you may actually spend 2, 4, 3 years worth of your time at this university, you are not eligible for a postgraduate work permit. That means you cannot get out of college and work, right? So this is what Canada has done for you, and you should definitely check this out before actually moving on with any university, no matter which person you're working with, which consultant you're working with. And of course, don't forget the point number two, location. Location is of utmost importance. Of course, anything in Ontario generally is good, and apart from that, based on your exact program, you can understand where the most PNP schemes exist, where the most jobs exist for your program, so you can actually go ahead and check and look into that, of course. All right, third and the final point, and before that, if you're enjoying this information, there's a lot more like this on our Instagram page, so make sure to follow us over there. Right, let's actually move on to the third point, and this is only valid for the people who are going with consultants. Many people, what happens is when they go with consultants, they get tricked, and what they get tricked in essentially is the consultant. Many people come to me and they say, hey, this big company is just charging $100 for the whole application portal support and everything, and they'll give us 10 universities within that. I say that's great, but read the fine print. Essentially what they're going to do is they're going to be sending you towards tied up universities. They're not going to charge you right now. What they're going to do is they're going to send you to some Green Mountain College, and that Green Mountain College is then going to pay 10% of your tuition to this consultant. Because of course, it's not that they're just going to live their life with that $100, right? They're going to have more. Like even their families need more, right? So it doesn't work like that. It's not as simple. If something is too good to be true, it's probably not always that good. So make sure you do your research. If you're being sent to a tied up university by a consultant and you don't know if that university is even in the top 100, your chances of the visa are very low. First off, you're not going to get it for the most part. Secondly, even if you somehow get it, chances of jobs very low. So avoid it to the best of your capacity. If your profile, see, let's just say that you're from India, from UAE, from wherever you're watching this, right? If you can get into a decent university over here, right, you know that your profile can get into a decent or okay-ish university, let alone with donations or whatever it is. But later on, if you're going to the US and you're getting into a far worse university, that's the cue for a classic visa rejection mistake. And that's what you can easily avoid by just making sure that the person you're working with either should not be sending you towards such universities where they're tied up with, and that's essentially what we pride ourselves in as well. If you take a look at the services section, essentially, etc., you will see that we don't really focus so much on tie-ups. We've actually mentioned it on our services page itself right here. We do not focus on tied up universities. We do not force students to apply to any of such universities, etc. We will only get you the best. Anyway, I had to do a little bit of advertising because again, that's what this channel again comes apart and parcel, of course. But at the same point in time, the advice, I hope you got it. No matter who you're working with, make sure that you are working with someone who's not forcing you to apply to any specific universities, right? Of course, you should have control of which universities you're applying to, which working with some agencies you do not, unfortunately. So these are the 3 things you gotta stay away from if you're going for fall 23. I know you're busy with your application. Some of you have already sent them in, mostly MBA people and MS people or bachelors or PhDs still applying. That's fine, great, no problem at all. Make sure you do your research, and all the best for your application. Subscribe to the channel. I'll bring you more such advice in the future ones. Goodbye and take care.